So, today I wanted to talk about social skills and why it's so important. And I never really understood social skills. I never really had much training in social competence and I guess just emotional intelligence, but just being able to work with people socially. So when I was younger, it was all about achievement, like academic achievement. But I realized when running a company, yes, you need to have that work ethic and that grit. But to be a great leader and a manager is all about the social skills, which I have seen is so much more apparent now than than it has been. Because when you're managing people, there's some people who are just really good at it and some people who aren't, and you cannot like train someone. I mean, you kind of can, but they have to be able to read in between the lines and be very, very perceptive in a situation. And that's not something you can like teach someone. There's no guidebook saying this is how you react and train with people. Um, so let me give you an example. So this is basically how you can get promoted or how you can wow your boss. And I want to share from my experience what I see in people because maybe it'll help for you. My parents have always said that people who get promoted or move up to the top of the companies are not always the smartest ones. In fact, they can be complete, like, in certain cases, certain corporations, complete idiots that move to the top, right? I mean, look at the president right now. But they have some kind of social skills or some kind of perception where it makes them able to move to the top. And that's basically they are able to give the biggest thing if you want to get promoted is you have to give your boss what they want. And what your boss says they want and what they want could be two completely different things. And it's your job to read in between the lines and give them what they want. It doesn't mean you need to give them the right answer. It doesn't mean you do what is best for the company necessarily. It's a political game and a political machine. And now I see it. Now I understand why. Because I guess in a corporation or any kind of big political system, there's so many layers and everybody wants to move up right to the top of the ladder. And the way to move up to the top is to appear better to those people at the top. And the way for you to appear better is for your subordinates to make you better. And to have them make you better is they need to give you what you want them to give you, if that makes sense. So basically, the people underneath you need to make you look better to the people who your boss reports to. And that means you need to be able to read in between the lines and have social skills in order to be able to make your boss happy, which not everybody has. So I think social skills, people skills are things that are not taught in schools, but they're maybe learned maybe in college organizations or activities or in places of leadership. And I definitely have learned myself. I have definitely, my biggest learning challenge as a CEO and a boss and everything has been the social skills aspect, because I will admit that is not my strong suit. I am not a very, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's because when I was younger, I didn't have any friends. I didn't really interact with people, so I didn't really know how to deal with people. And so all of a sudden when you're running a company, you have to deal with so many people and their personal issues, right? Like everybody's personal issues gets thrown onto you, especially at a time like this. Like everybody, has issues. And your job as a leader is to, how do I put it? I am so goal oriented and achievement oriented that sometimes I have to realize that people have feelings and needs and wants. Because I'm not like an emotional person. I don't really have feelings. I mean, okay, that makes me sound like a psychopath. But I think on a spectrum of people who have feelings, I'm definitely somebody who values getting things done a lot more than feelings. And obviously, most human beings don't act like that. And I need to be able to put myself in a situation where I understand that people's feelings matter a lot more than getting the goal done, you know? So, as a leader and a boss, you have to constantly shift the way you think. So, I have to shift from goal orientation to feeling orientation. And that's really, really difficult for me because it doesn't come naturally to me. It's like writing with my left hand. When you do something with your left hand, when you're right hand dominated, it just feels really awkward and weird. But I think that's something that really good leaders need to be able to navigate, is to know when to turn on this goal orientation and when to turn on this feeling orientation and drive a team together to get you to that. So, so in terms of social skills and why it's important for your career, social skills mean that I think social skills really matter if you're a manager or a leader over an organization, because the hard part is not only getting whatever you need to get done, but everybody is going to have their own personal issues and their own fears and their own worries and all of that. And you have to kind of get them all on the same page and get them to work through the same goal and vision. And if you have a manager or leader who is not very good at the social aspect of it, no matter how smart they are, they're going to fail at their job. So, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying, but fail at their job. And there's certain techniques you can use or certain things you can use, but a few things that and I love this channel because I don't have to script out anything. I don't have to think of what to say. I just want to say it. How do I put it? When I work with my business group and stuff, I have noticed that they are very, very socially skilled and savvy. It's this weird social, they just are very, very socially graceful. I don't know how to put it that way. I don't know how to, explain it, but you can just tell they're very, very socially graceful, and I feel very, very awkward in there because I don't think I'm as socially graceful. But okay, so if you do want to move up in a company, or if you do want to get promoted, or if you do want to do a really good job at your job, you really have to think about how you're going to get your boss to like you. And that means reading in between the lines. And that also means not necessarily doing what they say, but what they mean. I think you have to be really, really perceptive about that, because I think in certain situations, people will be like, I did everything you told me to, but I'm like, yeah, but you didn't do what I really asked for, And I think there's a difference. Some people get it and some people don't. And if I had all the time in the world, yeah, I would train somebody every tiny little detail of everything. Yeah, I would tell them how to do it. But people don't have, your boss doesn't have that time. So I think reading in between the lines and being very, very perceptive in situations is one of those skills that you cannot really, it's not something you can see on a resume. It's just something you have to kind of try. But it's hard. It's not easy. And I think that's why certain people move up in government, in corporations. Doesn't mean that they're the best at their job. It just means they can read in between the lines and get the people above them to like them.